Welcome to Lockeroom Talk. I'm your host, Terrence Summers. Here, ball coach Dustin Wilson. How you doing tonight, coach?
Good, you?
Great. Last Friday night, the Jackets welcomed the Beach Buccaneers into the nest for senior night. The Jackets celebrated 10 football seniors along with all fall sports seniors. The Jackets came out firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball and got on the board early with a Parker Betts touchdown run. At the end of the first half, Jackets leading in the first quarter. Jackets leading 10-3. The Jackets had their second bad special teams play of the half on a bad punt snap, and Beach got the shortest field possession of the night and got the first touchdown of the game with under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. In the second half, the Jackets were overpowered by the heavy Beach rushing attack and never found the end zone again. The Jackets fell to the Beach Buccaneers 24-10 on senior night, which finished the Jackets' 2023 campaign with a record of 4-6 and put the Jackets in fourth place in 5A. What a night, coach.
Yeah, senior night, so it's always good to put the seniors out there in front of everybody. You know, hey, this is for the seniors. It don't matter what you want to do or what region. It's just a special night. You know, I think we talked about it last week. You won your senior night that last time over there at Boy Smith. That's just one of those nights you remember. Like, it don't matter really what is the region or playoff implications. When it boils back down to it, you're going to remember when mom and dad or parent guardian was out on that field with you, and you just try to make it special. So, obviously, I think you could feel a little bit of that for the boys, and they played emotionally and started hot. Great drive. That's what you got to do is keep the ball away from them, as that's their style as well. And swap styles there, really. Got the early lead, 10-3. Went into halftime, 10-10. With tell the boys pregame, you got to compliment each side of the ball. So OD and special teams fell a little short there for a couple plays, and looking back on it, reflecting, it might have hurt us. But I mean, there's everything you can always look at, but that's one of those tough positions that you only get realized when it's bad. So
Yeah.
that's unfortunate for our special teams, but. You know, all in all, good football program, two good football programs, good crowds, good weather there for a late October game. Even though it was on a Thursday night, I was kind of skeptical of that. I know it would have been bigger on a Friday, but you may look at it as there may not have been somewhere to go on a Friday, so we may have had a good crowd, but same old narrative for the boys as it was with Hendersonville and with Gallatin and Beach. We're getting close. I feel like we're playing good ball at the right time. Just got to find a way to make a couple more plays, and that's just ball game of inches. Whoever said that probably went through what we're going through right now and just realized, man, that it's just a game of inches. It is what it is. So good night, good crowd, and regular season wrapped up. And now I'd like to talk about the brown grass, and let's go get the real wins.
I'll hold you right here at the beach for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's all right. Sorry, I get to rambling.
But I know Greg Ryan Rose, my head coach at Hutchinson Community College, used to say you never know what happened in that moment until it's over.
That's
and
right.
for us, I was going to the game with 3 keys to the game. And one of my keys to the game was don't at all try to help the Beach Buccaneers. And literally from the snap of the ball, first play of the game, until literally that botch, that bad snap, and they get in that short field, momentum was all Jackets. And the Jackets defense played probably some of the best football I've seen all year. Offense was being very complimentary, and that punt, that drop pass, you could look on their sideline. You could see they were kind of shocked. They were like, wait a minute, and we're in a ball game, and I just that one play, like Coach you say, you never know till it's over, but that one play kind of changed the momentum of that game.
You got to add another one too. That special teams is that return.
Yep.
But that added to that shock, if you will. The feeling of the game, the momentum on which side it was. They got all the way down inside in the red zone, I believe, with that return.
Yep.
And come away with 3 points. So, I hate that play happened and we missed those tackles, but it still let them know real quick, the style of ball we were and how side of the ball we were on there, and we did a good job of getting away with a win, if you will, keeping them to 3 points and not 7. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Those two special teams plays, and we can find many more of them, whether it was a penalty or something on O or D, but yeah, that was tough. But going into halftime, still 10-10. You got to find a way to make one more play than them. So it was a good ball game with Beach, our local visitors there. It's just a few minutes away, and it got us ready for the playoffs.
You look back in the beginning of the season, Clarksville High, Springfield gave up 42 points. Henry County, I think, gave up 50. Centennial gave up 35. since then, I know Hendersonville may have gave up, what was it, right? Maybe 35, 28, 35?
24, 28, maybe, yeah.
Later in the season, you have to get past that halfway point. These teams that, those two teams I named, first of all, Henry County, one-loss team, and Centennial done dropped 2 here of late, and Clark was still undefeated. So those games, they scored a lot of points, but outside those people, you pass week 5 down, you look at this Jackets schedule, you look at those stats, defense was locked in and came into their own.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think I told you last week. Blaine brought it to my attention that we held Gallatin until their lowest point total of the year, and I'm sure Henry County, Beach, which I know one score I could tell you would be Henry County, and it was 37, 38, or 38, 39, something high like that. But as I don't tend to worry about scores too much, but that was 2 people in our region, so we paid attention to it. But I've been playing well, and offensively, you look at that drive, and we had drives the other night. We just got to end in points. So playing some good ball here going into the postseason.
One last one right here, Coach. New wrinkle with Casey Winston in there.
Yeah.
Quarterback some. Me personally, defensive guy, and I know, Southwind, we'll get to them in a minute, the Southwind Jaguars, they're sitting there watching film. A lot of stuff on that film to watch for them. And being a high school team, you don't have a lot of time to, prepare, but we've seen that wrinkle. We've seen, Cobbins in Wildcat. We've seen Cobbins throw back to Parker Betts. We've seen it's just a lot to see on film, and I love that you got that dynamic heading into the postseason.
Yeah, it's no different than them, like us sitting there preparing for them. You get to look at a few games, which, we didn't get really that many on them, but the ones you do get to look at, you see diversity because it's getting throughout the season. It's not like a week 1 or 2 where you're still trying to find your way. So I think you find out what works for you and what works for the boys, and, we put something else out there the other night that worked pretty well. I mean, he had a good completion percentage and operated well. That's what you think out of quarterbacks. So good operation, and it's just something else we do.
That'll wrap it up for the first part of talking about the Beach Buccaneers here on senior night. Next up, we'll start looking forward to the future. Friday night, the Jackets will travel to take on the undefeated Southwind Jaguars of Memphis, the Region 8 5A champions in the first round of 5A playoffs. Welcome back to Locker Room Talk. Friday night, the Jackets travel west to Memphis, Tennessee, where the 10-0 Southwind Jaguars await. The Jaguars have scored 411 points in the 2023 season while only giving up 60 points. That's averaging 41 points per game offensively and only giving up 6 points per game defensively. The Jaguars are highlighted by a run-and-gun offense style with a very good quarterback play, and defensively, they are sideline to sideline. The biggest test awaits the Jackets in South Memphis Friday night. Another big one, Coach.
Yeah, playoffs. West Tennessee, going to check out the list off of somebody else you don't know nothing about. This time last year, I guess, plus a week, we were wondering who Montford was or what they do, or trying to get on the phone and figure out who's who. You know, just everything. You just don't know nothing about. How big's their band? How big's their stadium? Where are we dressing? What's the parking lot like? What's the field like? You know, all of it. And then you get to the playing, you know, to the kids and the schemes of everything. It's just another program I don't believe Springfield's ever played. Just pretty assured to say that just because I think it's like a 21-year-old school. If I read it's built here recently, and so their history is new, and we're going west again. And I can't remember I talked to Coach Bell though, and he's got a little bit of. I think back at that time when he was coaching, we may have went west that far a couple of times. But, man, that's like we're traveling 4 hours, so it's Memphis. So, yeah, Memphis, Southwind. Yep. Jaguars, purple and black, fast, young sophomore quarterback that can throw it the length of the field, it looks like. And defensively, got a kid that committed to Memphis, I think, this week sometime.
I believe.
Yeah. I call him more of an outside linebacker, but that's just because he does everything. Who knows what – and they'll tell him what they call him, but he's a football player, I can tell you that. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff they got going on down there. I've had an incredible year, and just try to go see which brand works the best in the postseason.
The gauntlet of the toughest schedule set since 1986, paired with some of the best quarterback play we've seen on opposing sidelines this year. You'll believe that that tough scheduling and the way this season has went, Coach, those dividends start to pay here Friday night.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's what you do it for. So you do it for the postseason. You know, you lose this when you go home. You win it. You give people those stories to talk about. I just told the boys at our annual bonfire, you know, back to Drew and them, or when Blake and them, James Brown, Charlie Fort, and Chapman and all them were seniors. They went down to Columbia and beat a 10-0 Columbia team, 2001, if I say it right. Yeah, it was. That was my senior year of football. I remember.
That's on Social Duty Sports. If anybody don't watch
okay, all right.
It's on there tonight. If anybody
I guess you're allowed to give out free shout-outs. Ain't you going out there and check it out. But, yeah, just, you know, we're a 4 seed. We played an incredible schedule, a tough region, and sometimes it's just how it falls. In that other region, we got to match up with again with Mumford. You know, the Mumford was 11-0 last year. These records don't matter, and it's not hearsay or not trying to get on anybody's bulletin board, but it's one night. Been trying to preach that to the kids. We got to go be better than them for one night, and then we can move on.
Springfield history, 3 of those, you know, well, of course, you got, you know, 2 weeks ago we talked about the Gallatin.
Yep.
You know, in history, Springfield, one of the biggest games everybody talk about is that 80 and 81 season when, you know, Springfield beat them to 80, then turned around and beat them 81. But after that, the biggest year would be 1991 when the Jackets, 9-1 Jackets, well, at that time 10-1, went to Memphis Ridgeway. My daddy's senior year. Went to Ridgeway in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Ridgeway was whatever and 1 loss, and they went down there and beat them.
So this is the game before Brentwood Academy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The game before Brentwood Academy. Of course, they returned back to Boyd Smith Field, got beat by Brentwood Academy. And a loaded couple NFL players on that team. But
yeah, that's the game where the crowds were as full as anybody ever wants to talk about it, right? Yeah.
And then after that, of course, the one you mentioned in Columbia.
Yep.
That would be the second one. Well, the 4th one if you want to throw those Gallatin games in. That's the 4th game everybody talks about of a crazy, like, Springfield story. And then, of course, you added one to the notch last year going up to Mumford and beating the 11-0 Mumford Cougars. That's something I'll never forget in my lifetime. And you know, even going back to the first year we did is 2018, traveling west, literally. Felt like, you know, 19, we stayed at home every week. But in 2018, they were on senior year. I went to Memphis, well, that way, 2 weeks in a row.
Jackson something, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to Jackson Southside or North Side. Jackson played Jackson South Side at
Oh,
home.
that was North Side.
Then we went to North Side. Then I turned around and go to the private school to play Haywood the next week.
Yeah, that was North Side, real wet. Said they got a helicopter to dry the field off or something that place. And, yeah, that's when Duran scored off that bubble going to our left. I remember, run right in front of the end zone. And then, me and Coach Hookfin at the time, Haywood, he was a good dude.
Yeah.
We decided to play that game at Jackson Christian. So, yeah, it was back-to-back charters. But, man, you double those up. This is doubling them up. Like that Jackson trip seems short now when you go to Mumford and Memphis Southwind. So, it's opportunities. That's what you talk about. Like the setup of those games you talked about. Like it ain't no telling what happened for us to play Ridgeway back when you're talking about that, like the schedule or the game or something special happening. And that's just like this year. The kids, I'm sure they're bummed about being 4-6. I mean, ever since they've probably been able to be alive that we've been producing a lot of wins, so they may feel like it's a letdown, but none of that stuff will be remembered if you go and get to 10-0. So just what an opportunity. But, yeah, it's just stories. I just let you in on the bonfire a little bit out there. We had a minute ago. It's just think about playing ball in Springfield. It don't matter who you are or what you look like, what you do. It's that brotherhood that you won't ever forget. And those people that got those stories like your dad going and knocking off Ridgeway and coming back to the packed-out Boy Smith, we can't come home just because of the way the seedings are now. And I think this year the semifinals would be the other way, so it's impossible for us to come home. But I can tell you, man, it sounds like a great story to tell if we can go get this done.
It would be. It would definitely be another notch on the armor right there. That'd be one of the ones to tell. And my dad always talk about how do we end up having to go being a one-loss team to Ridgeway, but just set up like that. And
what was that back in the days of the two teams? Is that right?
I believe it.
I
think they had moved on to probably three. The top three out the regions went, but there was no reason for them to be going to Memphis Ridgeway.
Somebody's got to travel.
Yeah, somebody's got to go.
Yeah, it's tough. Whoever makes those decisions, I mean, somebody's got to travel. I know Haywood the first year they come here in the semis was really like when I mean, it's just so week to week. Like I remember back when we first started traveling, like it's gonna jinx us if I order a bus or something. Now you book buses out, or not, you're not gonna get a bus. But I didn't know nothing about the semifinals and how they feel. But there we are. We traveled every week, 2 weeks in a row, and then we come back home to host the semifinals. They had a better record. They were a higher seed. We were 2 seed and hosting that game. So yes, that's just the system, and you got to play through it. And we got to get on a bus 4 hours and try to make it feel like a Friday when we get off that bus.
Friday night, of course, we're speaking right now. The Jackets heading to 10-0 Memphis Southwind Jaguars. Side note here, Coach. In the 1986 season, just like this season, Beach finished second in the region.
Okay.
And the Jackets also lost senior night that season. We keep talking about this 86 season. It keeps just correlating. Only one thing I don't want to correlate with that season, and I ain't even going to mention it, but everybody knows what happened at the end of that season with the great Coach Pearson. We're not going to repeat history with that one.
All right.
he left and went to Dixon County and won a state championship, Coach. We need you to stay right here on this couch. Friday night marks the Jackets making the playoff 10 straight season. Also, it'll be the Jackets' first round one road game since 2016.
Good stat.
We're excited for it, Coach.
Been a while, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's November. No kidding. Brown grass. Like, that's what you all sign up for. At some point in time, you're going to turn in your pads. It's hard to win that last one. So, this is us fighting for our playoff lives and our football lives, and for the seniors anyway. And just wanting to get after it and make an impression on another community. Again, we have really no idea what that community is besides South, obviously, in their name, Memphis area. Looked like a lot of interstate on the way there. It shouldn't be a bad trip, but we'll try to do what we do and get down there and take our turn at history.
As I said, the 10-0 Southwind Jaguars await the Springfield Yellow Jackets in South Memphis Friday night. The Jaguars coming in 411 points on the season scored, only giving up 60 points.
Sure, yeah.
Anything else before we go, Coach?
If the ones of you that are traveling, they do have Memphis City Schools, and apologize if I say that wrong, but whatever, Memphis School District, they have a clear bag policy. So I know it's going to be cold, but I asked him specifically about big jackets and stuff. So he said that would be all right. But anyway, if you're going to take a bag, it sounds like they're going to hold you to the clear bag, even though the weather may be cold enough for you to pack. So, hey, guys, it is what it is. That's the day and time we live in right now. So if you guys are traveling, it's a clear bag policy. GoFan tickets, they'll be $8, or you will have a cash option there. Sounds like the stadium is there at the school. You park right behind the visitors. I believe the visitors, short walk to it. So everything sounds easy. Just, hey, if you're going to go make a day out of it, we'll be right behind you or right in front of you, wherever it is. But, come set 6:58, we'll be running out of that banner the girls make us because the band and the girls are going to make the trip. And,
that's nice. Right
yeah, that's right. It's support. So when it turns 7 o'clock, as we'll all be playing at local time, TSSAA state playoffs for the first round, it'll be our turn at it. So that's all I got for y'all traveling. Appreciate the support, and let's continue this thing on, and we'll fight for it a week at a time.
1 week at a time in the brown grass.
Brown grass, baby. Yep.
And that'll be it from Lockeroom Talk. We're 48 hours from kickoff, and for the Jacket, the Hayes in the barn. Only a walkthrough, then it's I-40 West for the Jackets as they try to knock off the 10-0 Southwind Jaguars. Hope to see everybody Friday night in Memphis. If you can't make it, I'll be on the call. Don't know who I'll be on the call with yet. Let you know.
Appreciate y'all supporters making that happen.
Yes, sir. And our sponsor for that, we thank them for that. And I'll have all the info for you Friday as we do the broadcast. The broadcast will start earlier this time. We'll start probably about 6:30. You'll be able to see warm-ups and see the Jackets as they prepare to knock off the 10-0 Southwind Jaguars. I'm head coach Dustin Wilson, Terrence Summers. It's been Lockeroom Talk. Go Jackets.